Nick and Berkeley, what's happening?
Man, what a game yesterday. Man, look, we got the chickens this week, and then we got the little pigeons in Philly after that, man. I'm so hyped right now. Look, all them cats talking about Aiyuk trading for a first round. You can get a second rounder, third rounder. Man, how y'all feeling now? No doubts about Aiyuk. No more. I don't even want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the best receivers in the league. Look at his numbers. Purdy's finding him all over the place. You know what I'm saying? He's taking the emphasis off Debo, and then Debo gonna get his as soon as they blink and try to guard Aiyuk. Debo gonna get his, and then where you gonna go? You can't triple team everybody. Shanahan is starting to expose these other teams for what they are, and that team yesterday was garbage, and we were taking out the trash. And we're eating turkey this week. It's turkey with all the fixings. All the fixings. We got side dishes everywhere. Let's go, Levi's. It's turkey week.
Food with Butcher on Wednesday. I already have that on the docket.
Brandon Aiyuk.
Yeah, I want you to get into the Brandon Aiyuk thing because he had his 8th 100-yard receiving game yesterday. I thought yesterday was as good as it gets from that kind of. I mean, he was awesome, and they didn't even target him enough. And I think that's kind of one of the frustrating things of this offense. It gets so balanced, and we understand it's a run-first team that, like, even in a game where he has 156 yards through 3 quarters or halfway through 3 quarters, it feels like if he needed to, he could have had 280 in a game like yesterday.
Well, on the season, he's coming off his first 1,000-yard wide receiver season. 78 catches, 1,015 yards. Through 9 games this year, and he missed the New York Giants game, and he was compromised in a Rams game very early on.
Yes.
Very early on. First quarter, I remember
yeah.
watching him, and he's going to the sideline, and Debo was alerted to traders. I'm watching the whole time. I'm right behind the bench. I'm like, boy, the fact that Aiyuk even finished that football game just to be a decoy was something special. So in 9 games, he's got 61 targets. He's only got 43 receptions, but he's got 831 yards receiving on 43 catches. He's averaging over 19 yards per catch. 19 yards per catch.
A lot of air yards, too. He gets great yak, but we act like he gets open downfield intermediately.
Well, he gets open. He's a great route runner. And so I don't know where the rhetoric comes from where, hey, you can't pay Debo and Aiyuk, you can't do this and blah.
Your
hey, listen,
the great under $1 million.
The great organizations figure out a way to keep your players.
Exactly.
And this is a keeper. You know, whether or not Ayuk's a true number 1 wide receiver, I don't give a damn. I tell you what, if you had all the wide receivers on the board and you told every team in the league to draft, Ayuk's going to the top 15, in my opinion.
That I agree with.
So whatever you want to say about Brandon Aiyuk, this guy is such a baller that I don't want him going anywhere. He's silky smooth. He's only 25 years old. Trading this guy when he's a premium player, you spent all this time developing him.
Yes.
What the hell are you talking about?
Well, and he set some this isn't going to show up in the stat sheet. There were 3 specific blocks on the edge that set the boot stretch action up because CMC gets to the outside and then boom, spins out, makes another 3 or 4 yards. He did it multiple times. And then it sets up that boot action play to get Kittle those wide open ones. I feel like he's wide open on the crossing route all day.
All day.
There was a dime that Purdy had to him in traffic. That was on the Elijah Mitchell series where Elijah was getting a lot of the runs there. I mean, he had some unreal catches. The best one I thought of the day wasn't the 76-yard bomb, which was a perfectly thrown pass. It was one that he caught for like a 15-yard in traffic with a guy on his hip. He vice grips it, catches it, shakes the guy off of him, and then cuts back to the right and runs yard after catch for another 17, 20 yards. It was a beautiful play by Brandon Aiyuk. And I'm telling you, if they force-fed him the ball, I think he'd be an 1,800-yard receiver.
Yeah, easily. I mean, he might go for 1,400 this year in a run-first offense.
That's insane.
That's special. This guy's a special player. Here's Shanahan asked about the development of Brandon Aiyuk.
BA's been great. You know, a lot was made out of it because everyone talked doghouse in training camp, which I thought I was a little confused with just coaching. He was never in anyone's doghouse. We were just coaching him, and BA, going back to those years, he was one of our best players halfway through that year. And one of the main reasons we went to the NFC Championship and got better last year, and he's been better this offseason. And always when you're getting better, it doesn't always show for a receiver because stats and all those results are dependent of a lot of other people. But BA's been playing some good football for a while, and it's really cool when he gets rewarded with those numbers.
Again, 831 yards receiving, 43 catches, 19 yards a catch. and you're worried about whether or not the 49ers can retain him, or you got media members talking about trading him for a first-round pick. The hell are you talking about? What are you watching? You don't trade premium players when you develop them. You keep them on your roster.
Well, I mean, just think about it this way. Like,
I mean, come on.
Listen to this.
What are we watching?
But like yes, there are tons of wide receivers that come into college, that come out of college that are ready to be drafted. There's no doubt about it. But it's much easier on paper to say, trade this guy for a first rounder,
Right.
draft the next guy. How'd that work out with Kinlaw? Okay, how many wide receivers have they tried to draft over the last, let's just say, 8 years? Forget going back into the 20 years, 8 years. They've invested a zillion picks, and Ayuk's the best one of them all, by far.
And and I don't think it's going to come down to it. Oh, Chase Young or Brandon Aiyuk. Ayuk or Chase Young.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'll say it right now. I'm paying Brandon Aiyuk. Aiyuk cannot leave. All right, he cannot leave. He needs to be in that number 11 in red and gold for the rest of his career.
Well, they have a franchise tag in their back pocket for if it gets to that point, if they need it. I don't think either of them is going anywhere. I feel like Bosa's energized with Chase. Chase was good yesterday, and Brandon Aiyuk's been amazing. You take Aiyuk off this offense, it's completely different.